All right, Shalom. Giving all praises, all glory, all honors unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, elder bishops of Millstone. Peace and blessings to the 144,000, rest of the hopeful elect out there. This is your brother, the priest of Zion from Gms Atlanta, back with another edifying video. And this would be I kind of want to land back off of, this would be some information that was brought out by the brother Gabar Yahawada from Hawaii. He had brought this information out, and he basically put into Chatgpt what does it mean to buy and sell when you read Revelation chapter 13, and Chatgpt broke it down. And I believe the Apostle Hart went over it as well. And so, I'm watching, I'm like, hey, you know what? Let me try that. Let me see, for myself, hey, because, we're the Church of Berea, right? Just like in the book of Acts, we got that spirit of the Church of Berea. So whatever a brother or even whatever the elder apostles bring out, certain information, don't just take it because they're bringing it out on a video when it sounds good. No, go back and look it up, check it out for yourself, so therefore you know what's true or what's not. Do I believe them? Of course I do. But you also have to try the word. So I checked it out for myself, and I got, depending on the algorithm, you will get different responses, but I got the same breakdown. So I just took a couple of screenshots of it, and this is what I got. So it says in the book of Revelation, chapter 13, it says, no man shall buy or sell except he had the mark. Is that speaking about individuals or nations? And I put it in, I believe, the same way the brother, the elder out of Hawaii, the Gabar Yahawah, put it in. And this is what it says. It says, Revelation 13 and 17 says, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. And this is from the KJV. Okay, so let's see what AI breaks down. Because here it is, you got IUIC. Every other year, they're changing their doctrine when it comes to this particular prophecy. They're always changing. These other groups, they'll say the mark in the forehead is talking about, do you believe in the system and, your trust? And then the mark in the hand is you carrying out the action of believing it. Just a bunch of mess that doesn't correlate to the context of the scripture. It's easy to pull the wool over the eyes of the simple and the stupid. But for those learned men, those that actually check things out, the men of the Lord, the elect, you're not going to pull the wool over our eyes because we study. And we found out that when you go into the Greek, if you were to go to the country of Greece, you can't just read to them out of a English Bible, right? If you really want to go to these other countries, don't read to them out of the English Bible. Get you a Greek Bible. They got Greek Bibles. They have Greek New Testaments. And guess what? The Greek word for mark in that verse, Revelation 13 and verse 16, it is the Greek word charagma. And it's something physical. If you ask them in the Greek, what does charagma mean? Right? And you have somebody that's that understands the Greek they speak today, and go into the Koine Greek, the different Greek that's in the scriptures, they'll tell you that charagma is something physical. So you can't pull the wool over them people's eyes. That's why you'll never go over there. IUIC. I mean, you could go, but you'll be hard pressed to push your interpretation of the Motb on them in the English, using that mark breakdown you got, saying it's sin. They'll be like, what are you talking about? Are you stupid, Bishop Nathaniel? Anyway, so this is what it says. Revelation 13 and 17. Okay, I just read that. It says, in the original Greek, the word used for man is anthropos, or anthropos, which that is the Greek word for man. It says, which generally refers to individual human beings, not nations or political entities. So in the immediate context, it is speaking about individuals, not nations. Now, when you go into the Greek for Revelation 13:17, here in the Strong's, right, Bible definitions, the word there in the Greek for man is not, it is not anthropos, okay? It's the Greek word tis, which at the same time means a certain one, sometime, a person, any person, a man, any man. So it's an individual, a one, okay? It's talking about an individual person, all right? Here in the Greek. So when you go into this with Chatgpt, even with the Greek word anthropos, it still makes sense. Anthropos is man as a human being. Tis is a person, an individual, like one person, right? And it says here, it's not talking about nations. Not nations, okay? All right, let me go to the next image. Okay, right here in the middle, it says the verse is part of a broader prophetic vision involving the beast. Okay, a symbolic figure often interpreted in various ways as a corrupt political power, a religious system, or a person. Now, the correct context would be corrupt political power, which IUIC did break that down. Correct is talking about the Roman Empire, which America and Europe, the countries that make up NATO, they all exercise the same system that ancient Rome did. So that's the beast. It says the mark symbolizes allegiance or submission to the beast, not sin, and the economic control described, not being able to buy or sell. That's why now IUIC, the Deacon Malachi had to go into, they have to now tie in economics to the mark being, as he said, another level would be the digital ID for each person. Because before they were saying big nation, small nation. It's not talking about nations. It's talking about individual people and how they're going to be able to buy and sell in the emerging economy as a digital system. Okay? It says, and the economic control described, not being able to buy or sell, suggests a form of coercion or control over everyday life. All right? That said, some interpreters expand the scope symbolically, suggesting that entire systems like governments, corporations, or even nation states could also be influenced or controlled in a similar way. Yeah, all these different countries and their governments are all applying a digital ID governmental system for their citizens and for how they trade back and forth. It's called interoperability. Okay, it says here, but strictly by the text, the restriction is placed on individuals. Okay, so it has nothing to do with sin. Okay. Now I put it in a couple of times. It gave me a different way of saying the same breakdown. Okay? Anthropos, right? It says here, it says Revelation 13:17, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, right? This is speaking about individuals, not nations. This is, you can see, this is Chatgpt, all right? I didn't even sign up. I just downloaded it and just put it in. We got that anthropo. So the restriction, being unable to buy or sell without the mark, is something applied to individual people, not to entire countries or governments. Ooh. Somebody send this to the IUIC. Send this to Bishop Nate. Okay? However, depending on the interpretation, literal, symbolic, prophetic, some believe this could extend to systems or nations enforcing the mark on people, which is what? The Motb, the micro C hip, the implant. But the verse itself is clearly talking about individual human participation. That's why they use the Greek word tis and not anthropos. Okay? Because it's not necessarily just talking about man as a man. It's talking about individuals. Okay? Like I said, I kept putting it in. Right here, they have it here. The phrase no man is translated from the Greek word tis, meaning anyone or any person. So it's definitely referring to individuals, not nations. The context is about how a global system, symbolized by the beast, will exert control over people, especially in terms of commerce. So while a system or empire might enforce the rule, the verse is directly speaking about how individuals are affected. Right. So Bishop Nate, you got to take out that big nations, small nations, trade and embargo breakdown. You're wrong. Whether or not they can participate in economic life without the mark. So there you go. So to be clear, it speaks about individuals being restricted, not entire nations. Even AI knows and understands what's going on here. Okay? I'm just scrolling through because I'm going to show you something and then I'm going to close. Okay? Because it's all pretty much, as you can see, you can pause it. It's all speaking about the same thing. Here we go. It says, if you're wondering whether modern global systems or digital IDs, which IUIC mentioned, could fit this kind of prophetic model, that's a much deeper rabbit hole, but it's a common line of thought in prophecy circles. Whose circle? GMS? The top prophets, the prophets on earth, the top prophets on the planet earth, the true prophets. Okay? And it breaks down Revelation 13, the symbolism. Here we go. First beast from the sea, often associated with a powerful political or imperial system like Rome in early interpretations. Okay? His historicist view, the beast represents long-standing oppressive religious political systems. Example given, the papacy, Roman Empire. Okay? What's the Roman Empire all over again? America and America and NATO. Here we go. The Motb. This is where things get interesting. The mark is a sign of allegiance to the beast. It's described as being placed on the right hand or forehead, mirroring God's seal on his people. Revelation 7:3, 14:1, and also Ezekiel 9:4, which is that's the spiritual mark there for the Most High, the elect, his people. Right here it is, possible interpretations, literal, a physical mark. Here we go. Micro C is physical, micro C hip, ID or digital tag. Common in some modern prophecy circles, right? with GMS at the top, they say here symbolic, represents thoughts, forehead, and actions, hand allied with worldly and anti-God systems. No, it's a literal, all right? It's a physical thing, okay? So that's wrong. Technological lens. Some see the mark as related to digital identity, financial control, CBDCs, digital currencies, or surveillance. And when you tie that into the Greek word charagma, it's something physical. Okay? Buying and selling. So you get it. You get it, okay? But anyway, with that, I hope this was edifying. Shalom.